And drink your little protein shake.
It's plant protein.
Little bitch.
Still plant. What?
Why don't you actually eat food, like real food?
What?
You know, you can get protein from...
I'm just getting some protein in, bro.
You can get it from, like, meat.
What's this outfit about, dude? What, you got it backwards?
Dude, it's
you got your backwards cap
it's
on.
Casual
you got
day.
your hoodie. Put your hoodie on.
I usually wear my hat the right way, but these lights, they shade out whatever. So the people back here, they told me, like, don't, you know, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
what'd you say?
my hoodie?
Yeah.
I love hoodies. Dude, this is my comfort gear.
You never fucking wear hoodies, bro.
That's because you always see me at work. I can't wear hoodies to work.
What? You're a skater in your off time? You're fucking at the skate park, dude, just like on the half pipe. You're like, bro, I gotta go, dude. I gotta go finish this wine that we're doing. Sucks.
Dude, I walk around the cellar on the weekends in my hoodie, a backwards baseball hat, and my fucking boombox on my shoulder, playing cassette tapes. I don't.
Wait, why are you playing cassette tapes? You still got a boombox?
Dude, it's retro. Like you don't understand retro, do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I understand.
Yeah,
it.
like that the big boombox takes all like 8 like D batteries.
I see it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, remember the? Oh man.
Yeah.
Those were the days.
That was a thing. That was like, and it was pretty cool actually.
You tried to break dance, didn't you?
No.
Did you
I didn't try to break
you
dance.
carry around some cardboard and you'd like lay it out? Why were you like, I'm gonna try something new?
The kids nowadays are never going to know about the Walkman. The Walkman
Yeah.
was like a revolutionary piece of equipment where you could actually just walk around listening to your music and not bug anybody. But like back in the day, there you go. Look at that thing.
Oh my god!
And he's even, what is that? Is that a shawl jacket thing? Like,
wait, isn't it? No, that's
he's got a Cadillac in the background, like straight 85. That's
yeah, John
that's
Cusack.
Cusack, right? Yeah.
John Cusack, yeah.
Yeah.
Say anything.
What? Say anything?
The movie's
Yeah,
called
that's
Say
the
Anything.
famous thing where he holds up the boombox and she's in the window and he's like, "I love you." What was the song that was playing?
Ice Baby. I don't know. that's what it looks like to me.
Like, Art just takes it off. He's like, you could tell like Art was a fan of the movie.
All right,
He's like,
wait. Welcome back.
Welcome back
To Go With Your Palate,
Yeah.
where we talk about winemaking and entrepreneurship and whatever the fuck we want to.
and
So,
whatever the fuck else. Yes. Look
yeah.
at these pores. That's what
pores? Oh, these pores. I thought you were talking about my skin.
There's some pores in this house.
There's some pores in this house. Certified wine geek.
Yeah.
7 days a week. Ripe ass Pinot.
Yeah.
Make that spit out game weak.
Oh.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
some pores in the
You messing with some ripe ass Pinot.
There's a pore in this house.
We do need to like use this as a recording studio. I think we could fucking do some like
That was inspired by
Weird Al
Cardi B.
Yankovic stuff.
Oh.
Weird Al. Classic.
Hell yeah! But I was talking about the pour, like this pour that you did.
The
You
pour,
called it something.
this
'Cause you've gone
is-
over this. You've never gone over this classic pour.
I feel like I'm offending this wine when I call it what I called it. I called it the Karen pour.
What's the wine? What's the wine?
Well, this is a rosé. This is actually the Belglas rosé.
Yes.
We talked about it on the last segment, but
Yes.
I figured that we didn't really drink on the last segment. So like I figured I would
You were like,
lighten up a
How's
little
that?
bit. I got my casual clothes on. And this is not a moment to sit and think about the wine. This is the moment that we just sit and talk and drink.
yes.
And you need a Karen pour right up to the brim of something nice and chilled and tasty.
Yes.
And
It's a Karen pour?
the Karen pour.
Got it.
Because I imagine that Karens, after they get home from a long day of harassing managers at stores and restaurants, that they're just like, God, I was a super cunt today. I deserve a glass of wine. And they just pour it to the brim. I
Yeah.
don't even know if they use wine glasses. They probably just use like a big ass water glass and just like glug, 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 glug.
It'd be cool to meet like a Karen that was like a som.
Oh, I bet there's a lot.
You know what I mean? That just to go into wine
Yeah.
shops and just like flip their lid.
Do you think there's like Karen porn? Like where
Excuse
you
me?
get like a middle-aged woman with like a bob?
Excuse me? What?
Like I bet that they're you do not
No, Art, don't- Art,
don't
what?
look it up. Art.
Wait, fucking dude, Art!
Wait. I'm following
Art,
directions. Wait.
Art,
You
can't bring up porn
I was asked a question.
on the
What's
Karen
the issue?
porn videos.
The answer is yes.
Oh,
Apparently it
actually,
is.
there's a lot of Karen porn.
Watch a fucking
Age of
Karen porn.
bondage. Okay,
Jeez.
well, he shouldn't. But you shouldn't have done that, Art.
I'm gonna have to look
Okay.
this up later because like
What?
I'm
No,
sorry,
I
not
just-
sorry.
I just Who was it? John and Kate plus 8. Like, remember that show?
Oh yes,
Okay.
yes. And
That woman
she had
was
like
like
a signature cut.
the first
haircut too,
certified
yeah.
Karen. Like she
Certified Karen.
embodied, she embodied the Karen. And I just like every time I think of a Karen, I think of Kate
Wow.
with like that funky like bob helmet cut,
Yes.
and just being a total bitch, like minimizing her husband, putting him in the corner, and just being like,
yeah.
"You shut the fuck up when I'm talking to
Oh,
you."
yeah.
Like yeah, she was not. She
Is
was
it?
yeah. There you go.
Oh,
That's it
wow.
with the big glasses
We're bringing
too.
it.
Yeah. God,
Does he have the
man.
hair's long on one side, just like hangs down?
She was something else.
It's Karen. I mean,
Didn't he cheat on her?
dude, it just didn't go well. I don't know. I actually don't know the inside of that story. I just know that they're not together anymore.
Yeah,
And I think it was very ugly,
I bet.
that breakup. Yeah. It wasn't,
Oh, I think he dodged a bullet with that one.
yeah.
Yeah, I think he was his own kind of crazy, but like, man, she was off the hook, crazy. Anyways,
Do you need a moment, Joe?
yeah, I gotta.
Can you take a drink?
In in respects to Kate, I'm going to take my first sip of my Karen. All right. Oh, that's tasty. When
Okay.
it hits your lips. Mm. So I know you
Good.
wanted to talk about astrology.
Well, because you're so into it.
It's so
You're like such an astrologist. You know, you're always coming in and you're like, what's your sign?
dude, go get
You're
your
like,
chart
I-
read. Go get your chart read and tell me that it's not true. Okay?
You know, I did actually looking into astrology, I found out that I learned a lot about you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do you
'Cause
think
you're an
that
Aries?
yeah, I'm an Aries. Do you think that yeah.
Why'd you say it so pompous?
Do you think because I'm a fucking
Yeah, I'm
Aries.
Aries. Yeah?
I'm Aries. Can't
With
you
your
tell?
fucking backwards hat and your fucking hoodie, just like, I mean, oh, look at the personality of an Aries explained. Can we
Oh,
find out more
what
about
you should
Joe?
know about this is going to be a lot of this is like what you should know. This is just going to be an article of red flags. Like
Wait, go down. I want to see Aries. Wait, what? Aries?
and dude, I'm
Aries,
like
this is great.
but dude, I'm like
Wait.
dead center
Look at-
Aries like yeah.
Aries. Look, it's like Aries. Wait, back. Okay, Aries loves to be number one, so it's no surprise that these audacious rams are the first sign of the zodiac. You're a ram,
Yeah.
bold and ambitious. Wow, Aries dives headfirst into even the most challenging situations, which is appropriate since the body part associated with Aries is the head.
Mhm. What are you surprised by this stuff?
I was. This is okay. So Aries
So
is.
there's some confident, or some positive stuff.
Yeah.
A confident leader who builds community with their cheerful disposition and relentless determination. That sounds good. I mean, I'm sure there's some negatives behind that, but like,
uncomplicated and direct in their approach. They often get frustrated by exhaustive details and unnecessary nuances.
yeah, that is me actually. I
Like,
hate
oh,
indirect.
wait, no, wait. I think actually this is the perfect one. This is actually the perfect you. They like things quick and dirty. A temperament also reflected in their sexual.
Okay, I am not a whore, first of all, and I take my time. Okay, I'm not like a jackrabbit. I don't like just get it done. You know, I like to, I like to take it slow. So that part's wrong.
Okay. Well, tell me about UK because you're into the side. So I read a little bit, but what
I mean,
do you know about yourself?
in the moment, like if it's just like a quick thing and like I need to use my wife as a like
Wait, no, dude! Oh my gosh,
she's
We
down
gotta
for
go-
that, but really I like to make sure she's pleased.
I just thought like like I look. Art was looking down, but Chad like it was like a slight like lift in his like smile like. He was-
Oh God. Okay.
wow, I guess
some of
we
the
could
shit
just, I guess we could just like bleep that.
So no, okay. So I'm serious.
Okay, so
Go
I had
Get your chart read. It is worth the investment. It's probably going to cost you like 150
Yeah.
bucks. Okay, get your chart read. Things do change the outcome, like what time of day you were born, and obviously on what day, where the planets were aligned during that moment, all that stuff. But like, it actually is pretty legit. And sometimes it's like in very broad, like vague terms, but you can kind of decipher through it too. And there is some detail at times, and like and you just kind of like watch it play out over the next year or 2 years. And it generally, I mean, I don't know if it's the suggestion that helps you get to those points where you're like thinking about it.
Yeah.
You're thinking about what you heard. And maybe that kind of like is a guide. And like you can take almost anything that's said as like, this could be a really big negative in my life or a really big positive. And so then it's up to you to figure out how to channel that correctly. So my wife's a Libra,
Okay.
which is the scale, the weight scale, right? So,
All right.
So she's a very balanced human and very like chill, doesn't get emotional about stuff, doesn't like go off all fiery on a tangent or anything. She's just always kind of like there and stable. And that's like really great for me because I can get really passionate about stuff. And I mean, I don't get like angry, but like, I mean,
you're
I do,
a
but like
dreamer and a doer.
I take it out in different ways. Like I chopped a tree down the other day because I was pissed off about something. So I took an axe and just fucking hammered away.
I mean, was it like a tree on your property, or
it was a tree.
Was it someone else's tree that you were mad at?
Yeah, I was mad at this guy, so I chopped his tree down. It landed on his house.
Were they a Assam? Did they give you a score? So why does this? Can we dig deeper into this?
So it was on my property, and it was just like it was a tree that was on its way out. It had to come down anyways, and I was pissed off about something. I don't want to talk about it, but I was pissed off, and I just took an axe and just went to town. Got some good blisters, sweated my ass off, threw my back out. All the regular stuff that happens after 40. Yeah.
Oh, we were supposed to have an update.
But
on
it was
back.
therapeutic. It was therapeutic. It helped me.
Did you get your MRI? Yeah, did you get your MRI back?
No, I get it in like 2 weeks.
Okay.
I can't wait.
Okay.
But like
in 2 weeks we'll have we're just gonna do a
2
whole
weeks
episode.
A whole update on my MRI.
We're gonna bring up Joe's
I can see it now. The doctors,
everyone's gonna see it.
The doctor's gonna come in and be like, "So you think you have a slip disc, huh?" I'll be like, "Yeah, it's been really painful since like December." And he's like, "Well, I'm looking at the chart here, Mr. Wagner, and it turns out that you're just a pussy."
Who's your doctor, dude? He sounds awesome. Would that be funny?
He's I got a great doctor, Dr. Rosoni. I just switched over to him because I was with this guy. I don't even know if I should say his name. No. Okay, so he was up in St. Helena, and he was.
He's
like,
gonna try to say it.
Garbage. The good thing is I never have to go to the doctor.
What
so like,
made him garbage, though?
Okay, I'll tell you a couple stories. Number one.
Oh my gosh! Wait, I don't. Damn it.
Number one. First time I had COVID.
Yes.
I go to him, and it was like March of 2020, like right when it was starting. Like we didn't even have tests for COVID at that time.
Yeah.
So nobody knew, and so he gives me like a steroid inhaler, and it didn't do a goddamn thing. So like I just struggled through it, and I was a super spreader at the time, so I was still working and giving everybody COVID apparently. So there was that because we didn't know what it was, and I just thought I had like a little respiratory like inflammation or something. So totally wrong on that. There's another thing though that was really good. This is my favorite one, and this is about my wife. So she and I are down in like Arizona on a sales trip, and we go to this bar. It was kind of like a divey bar, and like I always try to like look around and see. So we have a table, like a high top table, just away from the bar. And the way they were serving the drinks for this at this bar was like they would put all the drinks on a tray, and then the server would like bring them around.
Yeah.
But the tray was sitting there, like it would sit there on the bar, and there were patrons like at the bar. I'm like, that doesn't look too cool. Like, that's not how it should go. Like you should have a service location for the bar that nobody else can have access to the drinks. So I already noticed that. And so we get our drinks, and she has one drink. Like this is the entire night. Like she didn't have anything to drink during our wine dinner or whatever else. So we go to this bar afterwards just to like have a drink and decompress and whatever. So she has one drink, and she like looks up at me. She's like, "I'm not feeling very good." I was like, "What's going on?" She's like, "I just think we should go." I was like, "All right." We stand up. She gets halfway to the door, and she can't walk. And so I like grab her and like carry her out, get an Uber, and she's starting to like spiral down like really fast, like mentally just
Oh
she's
shit.
breathing like hyperventilating, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So get in the Uber, and she's like just like anxiety through the roof, like whatever, and she's not an anxious person.
Yeah.
And so the Uber driver was like, I'll go straight to the hospital if you want. And I was like, Rachel, you want to go to the hospital? Like, really, you feel like you can just lay down and try to like figure out what's going on? She's like, no, let's just get to the hotel. And she was like in really bad shape. She slept for at least 24 hours straight. Like the whole next day that I was working, she just stayed in the hotel room sleeping the entire time. We get back to California, and she goes to the doctor like right away.
Yeah.
It's like, I think something was slipped in my drink, and I just want to know what it was, and whatever else. And he's like, this is what he tells her. He's like, well, it was probably ketamine, and it was probably your husband that gave it to you. And there's no reason to test for it because it's out of your system by now. And I'm like, dude, like you're my doctor too. Like,
Dude, that's fucked
the
up.
first person you blame is me. Like,
Wait.
no, I don't want to fuck a corpse. So no, why would I give her ketamine? Like, that's not fun. That's like a date rape. So we're like backtracking, trying to figure out like, okay, what actually happened? And it was like, well, all we could come up with was like, maybe it was just like a random thing. Like I don't know how people do that. Like, were they targeting her or us? Like, I had a drink and I was fine. So
well, if the
I
drinks
didn't
are
get
like on a tray, then
So
maybe
did
it was,
somebody
but,
just-
but maybe it was like there was someone else targeted, and like she accidentally
but
got
that's
that
the thing. There's
drink.
so many other drinks on there that like
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like it could have got mixed up, right?
could have got mixed up, or it could have just been somebody like doing a random like drop in, like, oh, this is gonna be fun. Who knows who's gonna get it? Like Russian roulette kind of thing.
Oh, just to
So,
fuck around, yeah.
Like it didn't seem to be like any real motive to it. It was just like she got fucking roofied with ketamine or whatever.
but your doctor at the time
He
decided
said
to crack the case, and
yeah, and put it out in the universe that it was her husband
Like,
that
that was,
drugged
like-
her. Yeah.
I feel like he was like he was just like listening to her heart. He's just like, takes her temperature, and he's like, well, I can tell by my findings that it was your husband. He did it with ketamine, and yeah, it's out of your system. So there's no way that you can actually prove that I'm wrong. But you go back there and you have a nice conversation with him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, thanks for setting me up. So I was like, yeah, I'm getting a new doctor. Got a
Yeah.
new doctor, and he's absolutely awesome. Fucking that guy was such a dick.
And tell him he needs
That
to
was-
redo
that was-
his inhaler.
That was I know.
Dude, that's fucked up.
I know that's
Yeah.
like fucked up. Well, that was I'm sorry, dude. That's
So that's how an Aries handles the situation. You're like, fuck you, Doc. I'm going somewhere else.
they are essentially without ego and have the ability to understand the feelings of others.
Wait, what? Wait,
That's
hold
how my
on.
own
Really?
is.
I actually okay.
You're not able to understand the feelings of others, though.
Bullshit, dude. How many therapy sessions have I done with you?
Oh, shut up, dude! Stop with this whole therapy
Dude,
thing.
I am the
dude.
best unlicensed
No,
therapist
yeah,
out there.
we talked about this. You have to have 2 bottles of wine to start your therapy practice.
And
And
does it work?
no,
I've never given you good advice.
you've given me good advice.
Yeah. Looks like somebody has an ego problem, and it's not me.
Well, if we're talking about, so I'm a Pisces, and
Can we find out what a Pisces is? Because
I'm creative, I'm sensitive, and I'm intuitive.
that's bullshit.
Wait, it's like, oh, look at that. Compassionate, artistic, intuitive, gentle, wise, musical, though.
You
I
like being alone?
Where?
That is so not you,
What?
dude. That's not you.
Oh, really?
Do you like being alone?
See, is
Do you
it?
like being alone? I don't think you like being alone.
I mean,
You're a
I-
bit of a social butterfly.
yeah, but I mean, everyone needs their time to recharge, but like being alone being the first thing for what Pisces likes. That's
Actually, let's talk about that. How do you recharge? Like, what do you do?
Remember, there's kids listening, Chris.
Okay, why you?
No, I'm just
I like
curious.
to.
Yeah, what do you do?
I like to meditate. I like to.
Do you?
I like to go on hikes.
Okay.
Actually, I like to be in the wilderness. I do like to listen to music and have a little dance parties because I think that's important. I think sometimes you gotta like
But you
make
do.
sure that you still
have
got
like
it.
a dance party in your living room by yourself.
Sometimes
Wow.
shake it a little bit.
Can we put like a video camera in there?
There is a video camera.
What do you wear when you're dancing?
I have a Simply Safe. What do I wear? You're getting like quite like.
No, I'm
Wait,
just
wait, wait,
curious. I just like I'm
That's
just
like
trying to. I've known you all my life. I'm just trying to envision you dancing in your living
Wait,
room
hold on a second.
by
You know
yourself.
me all my life, but you know that I've always been a dancer
You've always been a dancer.
and dancing all the time. And you used
You were
to
like
be a
the
dancer
worst
too.
Michael Jackson wannabe
We
ever.
was-
I'm so glad that you're bad at it though, because
we
you
both
made
used to dance though to those songs. We used to go. Okay, you know what? This is some bullshit, but I'm gonna drop this story right here. We used to go to a restaurant in Napa Valley called the Triple S.
Triple S.
And this was like a old hangout. It was awesome. The way that was set up is like you kind of ate dinner. It was almost like, well, it wasn't supposed to be a stage, but you kind of like it was like a kind of like layered up like through the restaurant with all the tables and everything.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
all kind of focused out on the bar, but there was like this stage area and there was a jukebox right there.
Yeah.
And we used to put quarters in the jukebox, pick songs like Billie
like MJ,
Jean,
yeah.
Beat It, whatever. And then we would go out there, you and your brother, and we would do like dance routines.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like we were hired at anything. We just like break out into
I'm
it.
sure we annoyed
mean,
the shit out of everybody. 'cause it was,
but they would throw us quarters.
That's right.
We had a
Yeah.
couple of fans. I mean, not everybody. We ruined some people's dates.
Yeah.
Like some people were having romantic times and we're just like there. Like I remember like it was like opening your shirt was like
Yeah.
like you have the jacket on and you're like, I don't know. That was like a move I like to do.
All
a
of a
lot.
sudden, it's like,
Yeah.
beat it,
Yeah.
beat it,
And we were
beat
like-
it, beat
Yeah,
it.
I mean, who doesn't want like what were we like 10?
Oh, even less, I
Yeah,
think.
even
Yeah.
less. Like 8. But we're just like dancing all
Yeah. I do remember that. Yeah. All right. So okay. So you dance. Yeah. That's all right. You
Yeah.
dance.
Okay. Yeah. All right. But so do you. Just want to throw that out.
I
there.
do like dancing. I love karaoke too.
But yeah, dreamer for Pisces, hopeless romantic. Yeah, was that on
Hopeless
there?
romantic.
Yeah.
You think you're a hopeless romantic?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like romance. Don't
Yeah.
you?
I do. I like romance a lot.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, you're the flower guy. You're always
Flowers.
yeah.
Singing, dancing.
Do you
Yeah.
do you think okay? So with actually, I'm curious. Like, is Aries and Pisces are they supposed to be homies? Like, don't they have like signs?
You're a water sign, I believe. So
Does it say who
and
your friends are?
Yeah, I'm a fire sign. And so if you think of it from that standpoint, water generally puts out fire. So, you can be a little bearing on a personality like mine that you kind of try to shadow me out. How's that for therapy, dickwad?
You gaslighting son of a bitch. You're gonna try to make me think that I'm shadowing you? That I'm like,
I am in
Wow.
I am in the middle of
Wow, dude.
self-victimization. I
Yeah,
learned this
what-
from middle-aged women, okay?
yeah, no, yeah.
They are so good at it.
You are fluent in victimese.
Yeah, victimese.
I'm telling you right now. That what?
But that is one thing.
What?
That is one thing I can't stand.
Oh, you're
I'm-
trying to find your partner?
Oh my god! Art, what the fuck did you find? So I do like I am so highly sensitive to people. Number one, gaslighting, and number two, self-victimizing.
Yes.
Like those things drive me up the wall. I'll call people out on it and just be like I can't stand it.
yeah.
Like it drives me nuts. So I'm trying to teach my kids about that stuff and have them like be able to call it out. Because right now, like I don't know if it's social media or what, but like there's no bullshit radar with the next generation. Like they see something once and they wholeheartedly believe it. It's like, nope, that's true.
Yeah.
And now with AI, dude, AI is
Dude, don't even get me started. Oh my gosh, we should have just a whole thing
okay.
on that.
Do you have an AI app? Do you have like GPT?
Yeah, I mess with it.
Okay, I got another app that's I think it's actually a little better than ChatGPT, but
Oh, you have a better AI.
but dude, it's like scary. So I put in like a couple keywords. Like I was like, okay, I'm gonna see if it can write a poem for Rachel. And so I put in like red hair, green eyes, and
Yeah.
then some inappropriate things. And it was absurdly like
Good.
really good.
Yeah.
And so the first time I saw this was he's 15 and he's got Chat GPT, and I was like, all right, show me how it works. So he like pulls it up. He's like, what do you want me to do? I was like, I don't know, just like a paragraph of something. And so he's like, types in like winemaker Joe Wagner, one paragraph.
Yeah.
And it was one consolidated paragraph that hit a lot of points, all of them true. And I was like, it just did that in like 5 seconds. It just, and it was, everything was written correct. I was like, this, like, we don't even need a marketing team anymore. We can just.
Are they gonna watch this episode? Oh my gosh!
Dude, we could just use AI to do all of our tasting notes and shit. Like,
not
I mean,
really.
No, I know, and it will take the soul out of it. And I do hope that somebody comes by and like changes it so you like it can be easily abused. And I think that at some point we're all going to be like, we need reality. Where do you find reality? Is that like you have to get out and do shit.
Well,
and it's almost like you're going to end up having like a totally unconnected weekend just to get away and be yourself.
I just don't know, like, how are not like kids nowadays like all A students though?
That's a God, dude. I wish I could tell
remember
you.
back in the day, like just like, you know, oh man, I was just huge on just procrastinating and just like waiting to the very last minute to write these like 10-page papers.
Yeah.
But back then it was just like, okay, you actually felt like you had like, if it was a book, like something on like a book, say, then you have like the cliff notes.
Yeah.
Or like, you know, like that having cliff notes was like a big deal. I mean, I know I'm like right now it's like
yeah, but
aging
that
myself
like,
as old, but like,
but that like we didn't have that until like the last years of high school.
True. Yeah, because
And,
we're not that old.
I mean, we had to do like legit. we had to do like legit bibliographies. Like,
yeah,
you know, I remember I did a report on one of the presidents, and it was, I don't know, it was like a 30-page report, and dude, I just took a bunch of books from the library about him. It was on Ronald Reagan, and which was like actually, I think he was a great president, like one of the greatest. And there was a lot of like nuances to his, you know, but I mean, I read all these books, and I remember going through and just doing all the citations, and like, it's so burdensome. But like, I literally wrote this entire 30-page essay using predominantly quotes and references, and my bibliography was like 10 pages long.
Yeah.
Because it was like, I was just taking points from each one of these people that are, because I didn't
Was that 10 pages?
That wasn't
included?
part of the 30. No.
Okay.
That was separate.
I had to ask.
But dude, it was like, I mean, I was like, I took it as an opportunity to be like, I'm going to just write what somebody else wrote.
Yeah.
And if you cite it, you're cool. It's not plagiarism. So I just cited everything.
Yeah.
And it was like, I got an A on it.
And
my teacher, God, of like, I mean, I don't mind if you're like liberal, conservative, whatever.
You don't mind?
No.
What was that word that you used?
But there is like a level at which, I mean, I even wrote an essay to him about like what education means and what the Latin root of educo is, and like pretty much telling him like, you're indoctrinating people. You are not trying to educate. I was just pissed off, but then I was like, I'm gonna make sure I get an A in this class. So I worked my ass off.
Wait, why were you pissed? Why did he piss you off?
Because he was indoctrinating everybody, these young minds. I mean, I was a young mind too, but I was a pretty
because
solid
of the report
mind.
that you wrote. He was like, that sucks or something.
No, he gave me good grades. Like, he loved my stuff, but he also annoyed me, and so I challenged him, and I think he appreciated the challenge. So, and that's the beauty of it. If you actually have like a good educator, like, yeah, they might have a bias, and like I just saw the bias like too clearly, and but he appreciated the other side too. And I think that's kind of like how I am. Like, people are like, well, where do you stand politically? I'm like, well, I'm extremely liberal socially. Like, do whatever you want. Legalize drugs, legalize prostitution. I don't care. Like, I mean,
you don't care.
I really don't care. I think the U.S. should legalize everything. Like, really, go to Amsterdam, dude. You don't need to. Just because you walk through the red light district doesn't mean you're going to get your dick sucked. It's just part of.
Where?
It's just part of the. I'm just like as a reference point, right? So that kind of stuff.
Can we go back to science?
We will in
Can
just
we
a second.
talk about
Give me-
astrology?
Give me a second.
Why am I in Amsterdam right now?
So
Flipping a coin on a blowjob, like I don't.
so it's so like, and you want to be, whatever you want to identify as. I like none of that stuff bugs me. It's like, maybe don't force me to follow, like to fall into one of those buckets, right? Because I've got my own bucket that I've already designed and built myself, right?
Yeah.
And I like it. And, I mean, I always say that like I was supposed to be gay. I just didn't like dick. So I know it's a weird saying, but like
Well,
there's a lot of stuff about me I think that is very
Wait,
much on the feminine side.
okay.
And
Okay.
so yeah.
Yeah.
So there's that. But then on the fiscal side, like anything having to do with spending, taxes and all that, I'm like very conservative. So it's really like an odd thing. But going back to like that school experience where you had me as kind of an evolving, like learning about shit and where do I find myself in this world and where do my ideologies lay, and then having somebody who like really like kind of sparked a match and got me like passionately upset to a point where I would like write shit for him to fuck with him, and and it turned out like that experience in itself was like, oh, we can both survive here and we can both thrive. Like it doesn't matter. Like if you are just stay in my lane and it's always got to be my way, then you're a Pisces. So you got to be a little more open-minded than that, and you don't want to throw your water on the fire. You want that fire to burn brightly.
That's not what a Pisces is. That's not. Everything has to be your way.
Can we go back to science? You wanted to go back to science. He's all over the place today, guys. I don't know what to say.
Where does it say that you only have to stay in my lane? That I'm narrow-minded.
Can I read this?
Look at immense spontaneity.
Effectively, the immense spontaneity and risk-taking instinct of an Aries is received very well by the fish. The Piscean has a colossal understanding of the drive within the Aries man and woman, which extends to support and encouragement of the Aries ambition in most cases.
Wait, hold on a sec. This is like, this is our compatibility, but it's almost like
this looks like AI wrote it.
If we could be in a relationship.
On the other hand, the strength and mental resolve of the fire sign builds a dome of protection over the gentle Piscean's head. The former, meaning the Aries, who is privy to the sensitive side of Pisces, tries to safeguard them from every emotional blow that might come their way. Aries and Pisces are neighboring signs and thus connect to each other on a visceral level, which helps in steady flow of communication between the two parties. Well, that sounds like our podcast. I mean, that pretty much, we should just put that in like the description
that's our
of
new
our
description.
podcast.
This is the new description.
Oh, man.
Do you think of wine? What we should do? Maybe we'll do all the signs. But like wine pairings. Do you think you could be able to use wine pairings for signs?
Yeah.
To say like, what's your sign? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Like, so what do you think, Aries? If you could choose a varietal or something,
I think it's got to be like a Syrah. It's got to be something like boisterous and big and showy, flashy. Not flashy, but like it's just like it just has a presence that like it's not you don't have to sit there and like think about it deeply.
Yeah.
So I think that's it. It's just like in your face.
Yeah, just in your face.
Here you go.
Yeah, this is who I am.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what sign and what varietal with Pisces?
God, I'm gonna have to go with like Sancerre, like a Chenin Blanc or something. I don't know, like something a little bit lighter, a little bit crisp, a little sensitive. You have to be a little more like thoughtful about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be like Pinot Noir.
No,
It wouldn't
Pinot
be
would be more like a Cancer, I think.
Okay.
Like a little more complicated.
And then, and what about rosé?
Maybe a Sagittarius.
I was gonna say Sagittarius.
Yeah.
Yeah. And one last one. What was your professor's sign?
I actually don't know.
That's what you should have. That's what you should figure out. But I believe in that story that he was your teacher, but in the end, you taught him.
Aw, thanks, Chris.
Do you think he thinks about that? Do you think he thinks about you? Do you think he has a podcast where he's talking about you?
Yeah, no shit. He's like talking shit about me. There was this student.
Because has everyone got a podcast now? Maybe he's got one. Maybe he's
I will tell you a funny story. There was
Oh yeah.
there was a girl. So I like started being like a tutor in college, and
Hold up.
I started like tutoring people like math and science and
When?
English.
I was there.
This is like after you and I moved out. I was
Oh,
like,
okay,
yeah.
okay. This is like after.
But
yeah.
there was this one girl in that English class and like smoke show and
Okay.
so she like came up to me and like I'm not that attractive and like whatever. So I was just like, oh, she just wants some help
Okay.
and like she knows I'm like a good student. So she was like, can we like just study sometime? And I was like, yeah, sure. Like that sounds great. And so I was living with my girlfriend at the time.
Oh.
And we were living up in like wherever that was, Cottage Road, whatever. So and so I was like, yeah, just meet me up at like my house at like 6 p.m. or something, and like we'll just do some studying. She comes in, like knock the doors off, looking amazing, and my girlfriend's there. I actually thought it was like for studying. And so she comes in and like my girlfriend at the time like immediately is just like, what the fuck?
Did she answer the door or you, or what do you mean? Like
I answered the door
Yeah.
and she comes in and it was just awkward and I was like, oh wait a minute, I fucked up. And so
oh
we just like sat down at the table and like started studying and I was like, I mean she had her perfume on, she was like all done up and like was wanting something different. And I mean honestly, I probably should have kicked my girlfriend out.
what?
I just should have taken that opportunity. Anyway, big miss
That
on my
is
part.
Explain, Lucy, explain.
It was a big miss on my
wait, hold on, because it's like, are
I
you
ended up
saying because
marrying that
hindsight? Yeah,
girlfriend.
I
Yeah.
know where you're going with this because
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
hindsight's 2020 kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where that relationship went, how you were treated,
Yeah.
and the shit that you went through. Got it.
So yeah, so
That's
that,
what I
so
think we
that-
should make
that-
that.
I could have
We
cut
should make
it
that
off.
a point.
You left that out of the
Yeah,
I
we
could
can't
have
leave
cut
that
it
out.
off. I could have cut it off at the pass.
Yeah.
Like if I just followed my dick and I didn't.
No, but
Stupid.
yeah. Well, I mean, you had good instinct though, because you're a good guy. Is there Aries? Where does it say Aries? Does they follow their dick? Shit.
All right. So,
All right.
anyways, that was a nice
shit.
little side story.
Yeah, but
We
so
should
Do you
do-
still
let-
talk?
We'll
is she
get
gone?
deeper. We'll get deeper into signs
Yeah.
at some point.
We'll get back.
Yeah.
We'll find our way back to science.
Yeah. All right.
So okay, this is a good topic as far as reach and insight. So this is we're getting down to the business, okay?
Okay.
So like I think what is really interesting is that you have a lot of different stories, labels, wines. They can enter like different parts of the markets, different price points.
Yeah.
So it's reach, and so how do you go about in your thought? I guess are you reaching all audiences? I feel like when you're thinking millennials or you're thinking baby boomers or everyone else. I mean, like
It's a good question because like in the corporate world of like any consumer product, they always want to put a target consumer on it, right?
yeah,
And so it's like, what's our demographic?
Yeah.
And you're like, why do you need a demographic? Like, you don't need to appeal to 50 plus males. Like, why not just make something everybody's gonna like? So I've always kind of approached it from that. And it's kind of hard to really understand or know where it falls out. Like, if we made something really edgy and cool, we'd probably look like we're trying to cater to the younger generation. But overall, it's like so the way I looked at it was, okay, what do we want to be? Well, I want to stay in luxury wine. That's all I want to deal with. I don't want to be dealing with like the, $10 wines, like commodity wines, just like the run of the mill shit that you just buy on the bulk market. And it's just not like, there's
Yeah.
no story to it. There's no real, provenance. And that's something I think we always will maintain in our wines. And so when looking at like, as our portfolio has evolved and as we have these different wines and different price points, I learned a lot through like, our last major recession, like 2009 in that area. And you're going to have like a trade down thing, right? So what we saw was that our customers that were enjoying Bell Gloss were like, I'm going to take a chill pill for a minute, not spend like more than I need to. I want that style, but I want it at half the price. And
Yeah.
so they would trade down to our lower priced wine, like which would be like now Bowen. And so I think having that structure that taught me that, you're gonna do well in the high times when people are willing to spend $50 to $100 a bottle of wine. But then you're also going to be pulling people up in those high times from that $10, $15 category into the 20, and then hopefully beyond that, because it's so aspirational. Like every time you have a better wine, every time you have a better, you buy a better car, whatever it is, you don't want to go back down to whatever you were driving before. If you went from a Honda Civic to a Mercedes, you're not going to be like, yeah, I think I'm going to go back to the Civic. It's like, it's just like human nature. So I think it is the same with really any product. And so once you see the difference, taste the difference, and realize that there's value added to that, then you're like, I'm not going back down to that $10 category. Like 20's good, and then on a special night I'll go to 50, whatever it might be. But then in hard times, you have kind of the opposite, where it's funny, everybody drinks in good times and bad, right? It just changes price points.
Yeah.
So you'll have the people that are, regularly buying $50 bottles of wine drop down to 20. And as long as there's a product there that gets you like 90% of what you're expecting from that $50 price point, you're going to be like, oh, this is cool. And then that becomes like your every night wine, so to speak. And then you have your higher end wines for special occasions. So we kind of designed as we went on, like thinking about what else do we want to produce? What is the purpose of producing this wine? And where does it fit in the world of wine from, character, quality, and price standpoint? And kind of created or built our pricing out of kind of that model that we accidentally stumbled upon in like 2008, 2009. And so you think about reach. What are we reaching? Well, I think the experienced wine consumer is going to enjoy our wines and know the story, and they all have to have a story. They all have to have a purpose and a reason for being. But how do we reach the next generation? The people that are drinking White Claws right now. I'm serious. Like, they're going to whiskey, they're going to White Claw, but like, and we make whiskey and like I think wine is one of those products that like, once you understand it, you understand like the core of it, the agricultural component of it, the tie to the land, the tie to the people, the history, all that stuff. It's like, as a human, you can't let that go. You look at it and you're like, this is a beautiful product. Like that's just period. That's it. And there's a lot of commodity wine out there, a lot of, shit stuff. But like, if that is what gets somebody into drinking wine and they like it, maybe it's a little sweeter at a low price and whatever. But then you have that, a higher end wine and some experience. Like everybody gets their aha moment. It was like somebody opened a bottle of whatever, like, to just pick like a high end wine that was like somebody's first experience, and they're like, they tasted it like, holy shit, that's a different ball game. That's amazing. I want to drink that in the future. How do I get there? And then they try to get there. And like at the end of the day, what are you doing? You're sitting around with your friends, with your family. You're enjoying some wine, having good conversation. It's making the food better, making the experience better, loosening things up socially. And it's not like you don't get sloppy drunk off wine. It's kind of just a nice little...
Well...
I mean, yeah, I have, and you can, but...
I mean...
You throw, like, tequila or whiskey in the mix, and, dude, it's a different ballgame.
Yeah,
like, that's,
but, I mean, you could... Yeah, I mean, there's...
But if you're enjoying, like, say, a 3-hour evening with friends...
Well, we go... Like, you have a couple Karen pours.
That's... Yeah.
And,
I mean, if you're drinking with a straw, it's maybe a different story. But, yeah, no, I think it's, like... It is a... Like, beer fills you up, right?
Yeah.
It can. And you're, 3 to 5% alcohol, typically. And so you're kind of like, you got to drink a lot to get a buzz or to get drunk in comparison to wine.
Yeah.
You have your first glass of wine and you're just kind of like feeling a little loose and relaxed. And then, maybe you have 4 more. Say you drink a bottle in one night to yourself, not alone, but like there's 6 people at a dinner and there's 6 bottles consumed. Just assume everybody had 1 bottle of wine.
Okay, yeah.
Right?
That's a good point. I like how you paint that nice picture. You're like, we're not going to promote that you're by yourself drinking a bottle of wine. So we're just going to add 5 more people to the equation and 5 more bottles of wine.
But it's still the same
you're
thing.
You're a fucking mathematician right there. That's a
but
fucking
it's
genius
social.
Shit. Okay, go ahead.
So at the end of that like 3-hour like hanging out, eating some cheese, and then sitting down for dinner, and then maybe talking on the porch afterwards, and each person has consumed the equivalent of 1 bottle of wine.
Yeah,
you're like nobody's drunk.
Yeah,
I mean, am I wrong? Do I have a problem?
No.
Like I know I could drink a bottle of wine in a night and not be like shittered. Yeah,
shittered.
Shittered. I believe it's a adjective. I'm not sure.
No, I get what you're saying. Well, okay, where we're talking about that's a whole story of what, a 6-hour almost hangout?
No, that was 6
4
people
hours?
in a 3-hour hangout.
3-hour hangout. Okay.
3-hour hangout, roughly 4 glasses of wine to a bottle. Is that right?
3.5.
4, okay. 3.5, 4.
Yeah.
Unless you're doing the Karen pour.
Yeah.
Yeah, so dude, that's easy.
Yeah.
Like nobody's wasted. Nobody's drunk. Like everybody's loose and like probably even fine to drive home.
Yeah, you're either sleeping there or, just to be safe, maybe you take the Ubers,
You pull out tequila and it's a different
the tequila
story.
comes out, yeah.
Yeah. You know what I wanted last night? Like last night I kind of ended up tying one on, just not out of any fault.
I can tell you're hungover.
Well,
I mean, you came in a fucking hoodie and a backwards cap. I know you've been through some shit.
Didn't want to
That's
do.
not like
I didn't want to do my hair, man. I was just like,
where'd you sleep last night? Can I ask that? Like that? Fuck, that's the story we should be talking about. Please continue.
Dude, in my bed is
we're just
where
gonna
I slept.
cut all the fucking.
I got home.
This is where
I put the kids to bed. We had our.
Did you put the kids to bed?
I got home later than I wanted, but it was still relatively early because like we had a dinner.
Did you put your kids' clothes on? Like
on me?
It looks like you're dressed up like them. Okay, go ahead.
No, so I'll tell you exactly where it went wrong. We were having a dinner with a group that is like building some systems for us for like all the back of the house stuff, right? And this was kind of like the celebratory dinner. Finished it. The product is done, and like so it was cool. So we brought them down to a restaurant in Napa.
Yeah.
And there was probably 18 in total. Our team, Copper Cane, and then their team. And so we started with a cocktail. Everybody got a cocktail because Nate down at the bar is doing some fucking awesome cocktails.
Nate's
and then
the best.
We go into white wine with like the first course. It's all family style. So it was like, all right, we'll do Chardonnay to start. And then ordered some Pinot, and then ordered some Cab. And so, and like nobody's keeping track of what they're drinking. They're just drinking as they're eating, and all these different foods are coming out, and just everything tastes better, right?
Yeah.
And then we do the bone marrow course. Now, our bone marrow is fucking amazing.
Yep.
And Art was there last night.
Oh man, it got hot after the bone marrow.
It
got hot.
And so they bring a whiskey luge for everybody. So you eat the bone marrow out of and you create this trough, right? And then you hold that up, and then you pour the whiskey through the trough so it gathers the rest of the salt and fat from the bone and shoots it into your mouth.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's a experience in itself. Like it's really good.
Okay, I just want to say about that experience though, is that did you know that you can, it's just don't take the picture. I feel like in that experience, everyone's always like, take a picture of me doing the whiskey luge.
It never looks
from
good.
like the bone marrow. Never seen it. No, the angles, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's just like you out.
Well, yeah, you gotta like put it.
Look,
I mean, see, dude, he's doing it wrong. You're supposed to wrap your bottom lip over.
Yeah,
like,
you're supposed
on the bottom.
Yeah, he's actually that's bad form right there. But I mean, even that. I mean, they didn't even want to show his face directly. They're just like, it's better like that. But yes. So continue. So everyone's doing this, but
so the thing was that like some of the people were like responsible, and they were like, no, I can't do the whiskey shot. Like, okay, so they ate the bone marrow. So there's a couple extra whiskey shots laying around. And I was like, I can't let this shit go to waste.
Of course not.
And so I end up taking a couple whiskey shots on the bone marrow luge. Yeah, I was taking it for the team.
Okay, you're taking
I didn't
it for the team.
I didn't want to offend the kitchen by like leaving a bunch of stuff unconsumed,
no,
right?
Of course not.
You don't want to do that. That's just bad. That's bad juju.
Yeah.
So anyways, that's where I went wrong. And then I'm like, all right, we're gonna get out of here early. We're trying to get out, and to get back to the kids. And then we end up being the last ones to leave. And then I'm walking downstairs into the bar, and then I run into a friend of ours.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if I can say his name.
We'll bless.
Vince. We'll call him Vince. I ran into Vince. And
Let's call him Vegas.
And he's with his boss who owns this winery. And so we just start talking. Like I'd never met her before, and so introduce ourselves. And
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, no, I love what you guys are doing. I follow you on social media and whatever. And so we're talking. So I have another glass of wine, talking to Vince, and like talking about old, our history and whatever else, and talking shit about our brothers and just having fun. And then finally, Rachel drove me home. So, because she was responsible.
Oh.
Yeah.
And so then you had a ride home.
So then I got home and then got the kids to bed, and I was like, I was okay. I wasn't drunk, but I just consumed a little more than I should have.
Yes.
But
you got
could,
home.
I could walk in a straight line and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I definitely would have failed the breathalyzer test. I got to start doing that. I got to know like where I'm at. Like when I feel like this, which means I'm a 0.1 or
you
something.
You want to get that feel. You want to know though. You want to get the data.
Yeah, I want to know like am I almost like gonna die?
Yeah.
Or am I like halfway?
I remember we did that after like social, because like during like we
That's
do
right,
our
yeah.
social media segments, or we
Dude,
do our videos.
What did
and
that
stuff
get
like
up
that.
to? You guys got me really, really drunk.
Yeah, because we started thinking about that because we always just make you drink. It was like, do this shot again, but like you have to. You end up drinking. That was like when we were doing cocktails.
You guys made me chug like 5 or 6 cocktails.
We had to get the right shot.
In a row.
We had to make sure the video.
I think you guys
right.
were fucking with me.
That's fucking the business, bro. Okay, and you did a great job, but you were like a 0.2.
I needed a nap.
Yeah, you were almost.
that.
Yeah, we always had to give you a little nappy.
God.
But it's a professional shoot. That's what you do.
That's it. Yeah. You just gotta take it.
Yeah.
Do it. Keep it going. Yeah.
Wait. Okay. Hey. How about this though? What's your hangover routine? Like everyone, they wake up. People, Pedialyte. People got their special like medicines and stuff. Because I know you're a big Motrin, right?
Yeah, I try to stay away from the salts. Like I don't know.
Anti-inflammatory.
Everybody's
shit.
like, oh, do the electrolytes and like whatever. And it's like, dude, that's so much sodium. You don't need all that. Just water, like drinking water. I think that's it. And then I do ibuprofen, Motrin, or Advil. I'm doing that right now for my back, anyways. So
yeah.
So it's like got up this morning, and you always got to eat something first. So like, make sure you don't do it on an empty stomach. So coffee, eat something. Could be like a granola bar, and then Motrin.
If you can't hold any food down though, you just gotta force it. Okay.
Yeah, I see. Okay, I don't ever get to that point.
You don't like wake up and like you just can't, like you're just like
no.
nauseous.
Never. Maybe I just don't get drunk enough. But like, no, I never get to the point where I can't eat in the morning. I don't get to the point where I can't eat at night. Like I will. I will crush the shit out of like leftover Chinese food if I come back and I've had a couple drinks. Yeah.
All right, that's a good. Okay, Motrin, granola bar, and fucking coffee. All right. Hey, maybe people else can send us some fucking better hangover.
Well, I've done the IVs.
Okay, actually,
there's a
if you could get an IV, if you could get a nurse in, then that's what we should do.
There's a place in Napa that does IVs now. I haven't been there, but like they don't come out to you, right? So you have to go there.
Yeah.
So I think that's their like limiting factor right now.
That's the shit.
Like once they open that part up, which I hope they do, like do mobile service. That is like I've done it a couple times. We did it.
Yeah.
At my wedding.
Amazing.
Did it in Vegas. And dude, it like
brings you back to life.
Yeah, that is. It's not just they're not just throwing like some kind of like saline solution or whatever they're like just hydrating you rapidly.
No, yeah.
They're also like oh, you want some B12.
They have. Oh, well, that's how they're making money. It's like it's all the upgrades.
Yeah,
like they even have it here. Look, they have it in Napa and Sonoma.
Yeah, but they're
mobile.
But they work. Oh, they got a mobile one here.
Yeah, so that's good to know.
That is.
That's what you should be calling, bro.
I should have called them.
I'm writing this shit down right now.
Yeah. No, yeah, they give you they give you like steroids, like they'll pump anything in the
ibuprofen.
But I remember when we
straight to the veins.
I had like a nurse come to me and like load me up, and she was even like, dude, she was just like, I had to take 3 of these before I came here, and I was just like, what? like, because I think like they go out and party. She's like, yeah, I went out last night and I had to like take 3 bags. And I'm like, are you good to be handling a needle right now? And like, why are you telling me that you had to take 3 bags?
I had
Like, I thought like 1 makes you feel like Superman. Like,
So-
what are you 3 bags?
so you know I hate needles, right?
Yes, you
So-
faint.
I did it the first time in Vegas, did the IV thing, and they gave me the baby needle, first of all, which is like
Yeah.
the tiny one. Like, that's going to make a difference. What it did make a difference in was how long the needle was in my goddamn arm. It took like 2 hours for that bag to be in my
Yeah.
arm. Everybody's done with their IVs, and I'm still sitting there, like, laying down because I pass out whenever I get pricked by a needle.
Yeah.
And so I was like, all right, I got to change that. But I felt great. And so after that, I kind of like broke my fear of needles. And so the last time it was Rachel's sister's wedding.
Yeah.
And so we got one. And so you can get like a really bad operator. This girl like just was poking me all over and like actually like busted through, I think, one of the veins. Like I had this like bruise, like this red blood clot looking thing all the way down my arm. Because she just was, I mean, I have like decent veins, like, you know.
Yeah. All right.
You can see them.
You try to flex your forearm, dude.
Yeah.
Fucking.
Oh, by the way, I waxed my
Arms.
arm right there. You see that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We did that.
Yeah, fuck you.
That was a waxing accident. During
Yeah, waxing accident. Yeah, but so it was. I mean, you gotta find a good person to do it. Otherwise, it's just not good. But yeah, you can do. I'd say 2 bags. If you gotta do 3,
yeah.
that's big. You're probably like blowed up.
If I were you and I did the baby needle, I just still like roll out to wherever you were going to go to the bar and stuff, but carry your thing with you, and then people will just think that you're like sick. They won't know that you're like hungover.
Yeah.
So then like they might give you like some free stuff or
No, that's
you know,
good.
like, nice new stuff. They won't know that like you were just like a crazy drunk the night before and that you're doing IBs.
I
don't
did.
know, just a thought.
I always thought about that in Vegas. If like you did the fake proposal thing, like if people are gonna hook you up, like if you're at a restaurant and you're just like, "Honey, we're just gonna do it right now," and like we got a free
Yeah.
bottle of champagne.
You haven't done that?
I haven't done that.
Okay, I recommend it. All right, should we get to some horrible bosses?
All
or
right,
what?
all right. Horrible
Wait,
bosses.
let's-
Here we go.
All right. Okay. Horrible.bosses@coppercane.com. Send us your horrible boss stories. As you know, we go through them. We get insight. They're anonymous, and we like to talk about them.
Yeah.
Come for our show, please help us.
So please
We
share.
need help, or you're gonna hear more of this shit. So
Yeah. All right, here we go.
Hit me.
This is from so and so from such a place.
Yep.
All right, they use the word ass hat. Okay, I don't know if that's a guy's name. Okay, here we go.
is it hazmat or asshat?
Ass hat.
Okay.
One word.
Okay.
Yep. I used to work as a stock boy at a local grocery store, and I heard rumors about the owner being a total ass hat. Can you look up definition of ass hat, Art, please?
On it.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like asshole, ass face, ass head. I don't know. Butt head, ass hat. Maybe that's it. Okay. However, after 3 weeks of working there, I started to like the guy. I even got moved to the produce section, which meant more hours and more money. But the long hours started to take a toll on me. I would leave the store at 11 p.m. and be back at 5:30 a.m. I was exhausted, and eventually I got sick with strep throat. I had to leave early one day with a high fever, and the next day I called out while in the hospital. The conversation with the owner didn't go well. When I told him I wasn't feeling well, he immediately responded by saying I shouldn't plan on coming in for any of my other shifts, and then he fired me on the spot, leaving me stunned and confused. Sounds like an asshat. Here we go. Asshat. Somebody who is stupid, annoying, or detestable. It may
Whoa.
combine the words ass and hat, implying that someone has their head up their ass. There you go. That's it. Okay.
It's on there.
At the time, I had just turned 18, so my parents were still protective of me. My mom called the owner and gave him an earful, but he claimed that I didn't seem to enjoy my job. That wasn't true. I did like my job, but my shyness made it seem otherwise. In the end, I realized that the owner was not the kind of person I wanted to work for, and I moved on. I found another job that I loved, and I learned that sometimes things happen for a reason. Yeah, it's just, there are assholes out there. I don't know if they're power players, or they got a bad day and whatever, but again, it's just like, you know, that's a good example of like when people can't contain their emotions. Like they make like, if you ever feel like your blood is starting to boil or you're just getting upset about something,
Yeah.
you just gotta be like, I'm gonna take a half hour and just like go somewhere else and think about this. Because if you make those decisions, like I've learned this as a parent, it's like all the time.
Yeah.
Don't write checks that your ass can't cash. Like
That your ass
you
hat
don't
can't catch.
that your ass hat can't cash. So it's like you got like if you make a threat, so to speak, like if you do this, I will take away that. You better be willing to take whatever it is away. Like and that's something that like early on in parenting, I remember like that was something that like you could use with younger kids. But then once they get older, then you're like, shit, okay, now I gotta actually do that. It's like, okay, now you can't go to your friend's house for the next, weekend. And then you're like, well, shit, I had a play date scheduled so that I could go on a date with my wife, like. So yeah, you gotta like make sure you're like thinking everything through and mean what you say, because that might have been a decision that this person got fired and they were doing a good job and it broke them down, and then also probably put the owner in a position where it's like, all right, now I got to get somebody else to cover this shift.
Yeah.
So dumbass is what he is. An asshat.
Yes.
Yeah.
An asshat, which I think that's like the takeaway for me on this is that I want to start using that word. That's a good, and asshat. That's a good one.
I think that
Let's bring that.
I'm gonna go on Amazon and find you a hat that has an ass on it, and I'm gonna get you an ass.
That's
hat.
not where I was gonna go.
I'm just getting you an ass hat.
I'm gonna take 20 minutes to go walk away and think about that because I'm angered and I don't want to like.
All right,
go crazy. All right,
20 minutes, and then
I gotta go take a 20-minute break.
Captain Ass Hat over
Wait,
here.
what? Ass hat.
I like that one. Yeah.
All right, we're looking at products up. Maybe I'll be wearing one of these gifts that Joe gets me.
Cool cats and ass hats
in our next podcast.
All right. Thanks for joining us, everybody.
Go with your palate.
Until next time.
Peace.